So if you're listening to this, you are probably navigating that very specific, slightly fuzzy feeling that always comes with New Year's Day. Maybe you're recovering from a very late night or, just enjoying a well-deserved day off. We usually frame this day as just recovery.
But the stack of articles and research we dove into for you, well, it presents a far more compelling narrative. It's not just a recovery day.
It's more than that.
So much more. It's a profound pause. The sources actually framed January 1st as the ultimate blank slate.
Like an invitation.
An outright invitation to start your year with intention, with clarity, and yes, with joy.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to pull out the most practical, intentional ways from all this material to really set a positive tone for the next few months. We're going beyond, the generic resolutions. We want to give you actionable nuggets, whether you're feeling incredibly energized and ready to go, or if you're just craving some deep restorative rest.
And we've synthesized all of this into sort of a customizable menu of activities. The focus is really on alignment.
What do you mean by alignment?
It's about honoring what you actually need, what your body and mind are asking for today, while also building up a readiness for the year ahead. We're trying to move beyond that resolution pressure.
Okay, let's unpack this. And let's start exactly where the sources suggest we should. The gentle start. After all the chaos of the holidays, a leisurely morning, that just feels like a true gift to yourself.
It's so crucial. It anchors the rest of the day in comfort and a sense of control. One article pointed out that just preparing comfort foods you love.
Or even trying a new recipe you've had saved forever.
Exactly. It immediately makes the day feel different. It becomes a self-care ritual, a little culinary adventure right in your own kitchen.
That brings up a really fascinating point I saw about intention versus, let's say, superstition. The material mentioned the cultural link between some foods and good luck.
That's right. For those who are into it, integrating these little traditions can offer a really potent symbolic boost.
We're talking about things like black-eyed peas, greens.
Right, the classics. Black-eyed peas, collard greens, lentils, grapes, foods that are tied to wealth or a long life. But the power isn't really the superstition itself.
It's the act of doing it.
Precisely. It's the act of performing a tradition. It connects you to this broader, hopeful story and sets a mental tone for prosperity that goes way beyond just, eating a meal.
So even if you don't literally believe lentils will make you rich, the intentionality of preparing that meal is like a powerful psychological primer for the whole year.
That's it. You're anchoring hope. It makes the day feel special, not just like a hangover recovery day.
And if staying home doesn't feel right, the sources remind us there are other options that still keep that feeling of ease.
Like a small brunch with friends.
Yeah, or just finding a cozy cafe. There's something magical about that quiet feeling as the world slowly awakens around you. The energy is just slower, more communal.
In every one of those scenarios, whether you're at home or out, the key is that the environment supports intention and ease. It's about minimizing stress on day one.
So once we've got that physical ease down, the sources immediately shift gears to the internal work. They call New Year's Day ideal for personal reflection, which of course brings us to journaling. But this isn't just free writing, is it?
No, not at all. The journaling they recommend is a very structured practice. It's a deep self-assessment. Across the readings, there was a common thread. Don't just list your challenges, analyze them.
Okay,
The most insightful source suggested something they called a 4-quadrant review.
A 4-quadrant review. Let's break that down.
It focuses on finding the systemic triggers behind your challenges, not just the challenge itself. So, quadrant 1, acknowledge proud moments. Quadrant 2, detail specific failures.
Okay.
Quadrant 3 is the key. Identify the trigger, the environment, or the internal habit that led to the challenge. And then quadrant 4 is defining the lesson learned.
So you move from just, I didn't exercise enough to what?
To, I failed to exercise because my systemic trigger is checking email first thing in the morning, which just drains my willpower for the rest of the day.
Wow. That is a huge leap. It turns failure into predictive data for the future.
It does. And once you've analyzed the past, you pivot to the future. And this is where you set intentions, not resolutions.
What's the difference, really?
The sources suggest keeping intentions broad and thematic. Focus on big ideas like deepening creativity or cultivating resilience instead of hyper-specific rules like I will go to the gym 5 times a week.
That sounds great, but did the sources talk about the risk there? Broad goals can lack accountability.
They did, and that's a really important point. They addressed it by suggesting a physical manifestation of that theme.
Like a vision board.
Exactly. A vision board is effective not just for inspiration, but because it physically maps out those broad goals. It makes the theme tangible. The board becomes your accountability partner.
I love that. A visual cue to anchor those intentions. And for the mental reset part, the sources really stress the power of just stillness.
Yes, meditation, prayer, a quiet walk. And what's fascinating is the specific finding that even 10 minutes of stillness can sharpen your focus for the entire year ahead.
It's just 10 minutes.
That's it. It's such a low bar for a huge mental payoff.
That is completely doable no matter how late the night before was.
Yeah. So speaking of getting grounded, if that stillness gives you clarity, the sources say the next step is to externalize that energy.
Right. You move from inner stillness to activity.
Specifically outdoors. Physical activity is key to turning mental intention into physical reality.
Yes, because that fresh air really does make everything seem possible and new.
Yeah.
The sources actually broke down 2 types of movement. The first is what they call mindless movement.
Which is just a simple walk.
Just a simple, directionless walk in the park. It's excellent for clearing your head, letting your mind wander without a goal.
And the sec type is where you build energy. Exactly. Focused movement. If you need to energize your body, a brisk hike or a run is suggested. The research found that coupling a physical challenge with being in nature, it jumpstarts motivation that lasts.
I saw they also mentioned community activities like city runs or group walks. That adds a sense of shared accomplishment.
It does. And for quieter enjoyment, you can just embrace the outdoors to appreciate the scenery. A nature trail, a scenic overlook. It's about finding that aesthetic piece, almost the state of flow.
Right, and it's adaptable. I saw for warmer climates, they suggested outdoor yoga.
Which is perfect. It adds movement without high intensity. And another great one was biking, which blends that laser focus you need to navigate with physical activity. It's very mindful.
So it's about choosing the adventure that fits your energy level right now. Movement is a form of rest, if it's rejuvenating.
And that leads us perfectly to the next big theme, connecting outside of yourself. After focusing on the internal and the physical, the goal shifts to strengthening relationships.
Setting a generous tone for the year. It's so important not to make the first day all about isolation.
And the sources have simple ways to do that. Invite friends over for a meal. Organize a game day.
Board games were specifically mentioned for bringing laughter without a lot of formal planning.
Or even a movie marathon. The emphasis is on quality connection, not complex events. Even a simple heartfelt text message wishing someone a happy new year, not a generic social media post, can be incredibly powerful.
And beyond relationships, there's this opportunity for creative and cultural exploration.
This was a fascinating practical detail. One article pointed out that museums and galleries are often open on New Year's Day, and crucially, they are way less crowded.
Now that is a deep dive nugget right there. Use the day everyone else is recovering for a quiet cultural boost. I love that.
And if you'd rather stay home, you can tap into that creativity there. Start writing, painting, cook something elaborate, or finally begin that project you've been putting off.
There's something about starting it on day one.
It feels empowering, is the quote they used, because you're dedicating fresh, high-quality energy to it from the very beginning.
And that empowerment can extend outward to contribution, acts of kindness.
They resonate so deeply at the start of the year. We're talking tangible things. Volunteering, helping a neighbor, cleaning up a park, supporting a cause you care about. It shifts your perspective from consumption to contribution.
Okay, so we've covered the mental, the physical, the cultural, the relational. Let's wrap up with the simplest but maybe most effective part, practical readiness.
This part was surprisingly detailed. The sources argued that simple acts like tidying and planning meals makes a difference.
But not because your house is cleaner.
Not just that, it's because it significantly reduces your cognitive load for the week ahead.
So it's not about a full spring cleaning. It's about future-proofing your week.
Exactly. The goal is to feel in control without getting overwhelmed. The research suggests focusing on micro-victories. Tidy your desk, clear one shelf, plan Tuesday's lunch.
Do the 3 small tasks you've been dreading.
Yes, because tackling them now prevents that decision fatigue from setting in later. Keep it simple, manageable, 1 hour max.
Ultimately, when you boil it all down, the takeaway here is that New Year's Day isn't about exhausting yourself with huge goals. It's about clarity. It's about readiness.
The ultimate synthesis is that it's about aligning your actions. using this day to honor what you truly need, whether that's quiet, adventure, or connection, and making sure everything you do sets a meaningful precedent.
We've looked at all this material, and it's clear New Year's Day has a dual nature. It's for rest, yes, but it's also for intentional, self-guided action. You have a path to start the year feeling prepared and engaged.
And to build on that idea of empowerment, that creative project we mentioned, the writing, the painting, consider this. How does the act of beginning a large, important goal on the very first day of the year, even for just 20 minutes, fundamentally shift your mental commitment to it for the next 51 weeks?
Compared to waiting.
Compared to waiting until the novelty of January fades. That's the thought we want to leave you with.
A truly powerful question to take into the new year. Thank you for sharing your sources with us for this deep dive.